Yo, what's up, YouTube? So today, we're here to talk about a party game that you probably don't know that's on the original Xbox. And I must say, it's a shame that this game is not backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. Throughout time, we had some party games. We had Pokemon Stadium, we have the Mario Party, some Nickelodeon party games, and on the original Xbox, we had Fusion Frenzy. But along Fusion Frenzy, we had another party game that you guys need to learn about, and that game is...
Let's meet today's contestants!
Whoops.
I guess they don't make skin-tight rubber like they used to. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show.
Whacked came out October 8th, 2002, and for a little historical context, this game was released 1 year after 9/11, and the war on terrorism began, and Bush was president, and that's a historical lesson from yours truly. Whacked is a game about 7 contestants in a game show, and they all have their own distinct character. For each contestant to reach the grand prize, they must go through 3 stages and complete 3 challenges for each studio. When you start playing this game, you'll realize that the 7 characters actually represent the 7 deadly sins. Spoilers, plus the bonus character that you can unlock is Van, which is the devil. Whacked is a very over-the-top game. This is the type of game where you play with your friends and you make whoever gets last place take a shot. This game is so funny, goofy, and wacky, it literally captures everything about the early 2000s perfectly. Which is why we gotta talk about it, cause I don't see anyone else on YouTube talk about this game. Just so you guys know, I tried to emulate this game on an Xbox emulator and it doesn't work. So I had to get on my dusty 360 and plug in the original disc into it. A lot of this game's charm definitely comes from the characters interacting with each other and the things that they say in game.
And walking wins it!
Why don't you all line up and
As I said, Whack is very off the top. When you're playing the story mode, some of these cutscenes with some of these characters are just worth seeing. Out of all the characters, Lucky is definitely the funniest character. He's a bunny with missing arms, and he's looking for his rabbit feet.
A little teddy bear, and my wax lips, and my signed Andy Warhol lithograph, and my cute little bunny foot.
Did I hear you say you've got yourself a cute little bunny foot?
Uh-huh. And I got some matches, and some Confederate money, and an ice pick, and a donkey.
But getting back to that bunny foot, do you suppose I could have a look at it?
No! It's mine! Mine, 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 mine!
You're tougher than you look.
Mine, mine, mine!
But I'm smarter.
Mine, mine, mine!
The next funniest character would definitely be Eugene. He's a bird that can't fly. All the other characters have their moment, but those 2 are definitely the funniest. As for the gameplay goes, Whack is a very simple game. A or Y jumps, and X and B attacks, and your triggers let you sidestep. To get a weapon, you literally just run into it. If you want to switch your weapon, you stand over another one for a second. If you are unarmed and you attack someone, you push them. And you can also jump and ground pound somebody, which will squish them and steal their weapon if they have one. Alright, so let's talk about some of these weapons. When you're playing the story mode, you can actually see what weapons you have unlocked, and I'm not going to talk about every single one of them. But we're going to talk about the lit weapons. Some of these weapons are so much more broken than the other ones. So you have these dynamites attached to plungers, and then you have these missiles. They do the same thing. The missiles are definitely more damaging. If you get caught in the middle of the explosion, you die. And on the bottom right of your screen, you can see who you're locked onto. For all the other projectiles in this game, you will lead your shots like you would projectiles in any other game, like the cannonball, the axe, the dodgeball. Man, let's talk about the lit weapons. Just as everybody likes the bat in Smash Bros, everybody likes the bat in Whacked. Hey, fuck out of here, boy. Oop. Nothing brings me more joy than slapping your friend or whoever you're playing with in the corner with the bat until they're dead. And yes, you can smack people out the map. My favorite weapon in this game is definitely the shish kebab. I feel like Ares when he threw that pillar at Kratos. What you mean alright? Get on this stick. Lucy, you get the steak too. Be going, thought. This game has a whole egg Draco too, and if someone's in range of this, you are done. We also have weapons like this pitchfork, which is a great way to throw someone off the map with no borders. I am slinging this wood because court is in session. There's also a dog with dynamite that follows you, and there's also mimes that follow you if you're in their range. We got explosive rubber duckies, and you can hold the attack button to release all 5 of them at the same time. There are situations where you can have a certain power-up and a weapon, and they do combine to make a new effect, but those situations don't really happen often. One thing I really like about Whacked is, since it's a game show, they actually have sponsors and commercials. And these sponsors and commercials are actually related to some of the weapons and items that you see into the game. So if you actually pay attention to these commercials, you might find a secret on a map about a weapon that you can actually use. Some of these commercials be so over the top and funny too.
Billy, do you want a battery?
I will crush you.
Major Woody Spike Tank!
See, now y'all got me on my World of Tank stuff.
Avenge me, Spartacus!
A lot of these commercials look like they were animated right on Newgrounds. What y'all know about Newgrounds? I have not seen this website since I've been in middle school. Every once in a blue moon, you'll find these exclamation points in the game, which is character special powers. For lucky, he just spins his ears around and he's lethal with it. And then toof, he turns you into some burgers because dude is always hungry. While playing the game, you come across these buttons, and if you pick up the button, something random happens within the game that changes gameplay. And usually it's Missile Fest. And honestly, this happens way too much. Missile Fest gets really annoying. Then you have the chance of getting fish eyes, so say goodbye to your depth perception. You can get upside down cam, which is really annoying. There's a chance that you can make somebody magnetic, which means all characters will be armed with explosives and a single target will be magnetic. And all the explosives will lock onto that person. And you can make yourself magnetic too, so it might not be worth picking up that question mark if you're in first place. There is also death, which the game gets dark and the Grim Reaper hand will be roaming the map, and if it touches you, you die. There are question marks in this game that do give you special power-ups. And there's a chance that if you pick up the question mark, you just randomly get set on fire, but you can pass the fire on to somebody else. There is Play Ball, which is the best random event that you can get from a question mark because the baseball bat is too lit.
Everyone, play ball!
Hey, I do this for real. Barry Bonds with the stick, boy.
Lucky is wins it!
Hey, yo! What y'all doing? Alright, so let's talk about some of these game modes the game offers. We have Frag Fest, which is drop the most amount of kills that you possibly can within the time frame. Then we have Combat, which is when you have to collect the set amount of stars. You cannot collect stars that are the color of your character, and there's also mimes that look like neutral color stars. And there's also a question mark, which makes certain people not able to pick up stars for a certain amount of time. There's also another question mark ability, which makes you able to collect stars without being so close to them. And I also will say, it's funner to play with more stars, because you can play from 50 to all the way to 100, and playing at 100 or 150 is way better than 50. And we have King of the Hill, that's pretty self-explanatory, you know, hold it down. I will say, if you do get squished, then you do not collect the time needed if you're standing in the zone until you're normal again. Then there is Trophy Mode, which is pretty much hold the trophy for whatever the set amount of time is. You cannot attack with the trophy, and you walk really slow. There is also Chicken, This mode is just kill the same amount of chickens, and just because it's called chicken, don't think they sweet because they might pull up on you. And this mode is only single player. And the last game mode the game offers is Dodgeball, and I think Dodgeball is the most honest and skilled-based game type this game has. Depending on what map you play on too. You have a certain amount of lives, and when you hit somebody, you gain a life and they lose theirs. You can catch the ball, you can take the ball out of people's hands, and you can make the ball ricochet off walls and hit people. One thing about Whack This, the game is very customizable. You can change the amount of time you want to play a certain game mode. You can change what type of weapons you want to use, mega damage, projectiles, annoy, etc. This game has 4 difficulties: easy, normal, hard, and whacked. Whacked is OC. OC means out of control for those who don't know my lingo. I played the story on normal, and I played a couple of random matches on hard and whacked. The reason I don't play this game on hard or whacked is because random shit like this be happening. The hell? One thing I will say about this game is you can be killing it and you can be in first place the whole game, and then all of a sudden at the end of the match a whole bunch of random stuff just happens to you. Like, on the low the AI be cheating. But this game is really fun with friends. Alright, so let's talk about some of these stages. Some of these stages are fun to play on while some of them are not. Most of the stages in this game has some type of hazard. Like in Jeffrey's Kitchen, you can turn on the garbage disposal and people will get cut up all in that sink. Car Crash is the only map I think that doesn't have any hazards. I think Can might be one of the most balanced maps. It only has one little hazard in it. Death Wall is a great map for dodgeball. High Rise has a hazard where the crane comes in the middle of the map and smacks everybody if they're in the way. High Rise is a very interesting map actually, because if you look at the windows of the buildings that are lit, they actually make words, and some of the words say stuff like buy some, I'm not really sure what else it says. One of the buildings says greed, and I think it also says economy downfall somewhere. So this game actually reflects some issues America was facing in the time this game released. And America actually did end up in a recession in 2008. There's Arctic Pipeline, which is the worst map, by the way, because it has too many hazards. I think this map shows the consequences of oil and everybody's dependency on oil. Then we have Spacewalk, where everybody's on a giant satellite and you can actually turn on its thrusters and have the satellite move, and you can possibly fall off the satellite. And then there's Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship kind of sucks because the water raises and there's actually like an electronic device that makes the water electric, and the water levels raise and you have to keep migrating the whole time. There's a lot of little Easter eggs and little neat things in these levels, but we just don't have time to look at every level and look at every little thing. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Whacked, and maybe the game will get remastered, maybe the game will get a sequel. There's definitely enough clown sauce in the world to make a game like this again. But who knows, maybe they risk getting
Cancel!
But if you found the cutscenes and the commercials to be entertaining, definitely go on YouTube and look at all the cutscenes and commercials, because you will definitely be entertained. This wasn't really a review or nothing, but the game's pretty good. I'd probably give it like a 7 to an 8. It has its few little issues. But thanks for watching, and as always guys, vibe out and be safe.